Hello, everybody. For those of you that are going to join me tonight, welcome. Welcome. Those of you that see it later, thank you for watching it. I really do appreciate it. And for those of you that aren't going to watch it, man, you really missed out because we always talk a lot about good things or just things that really piss everybody off. But I kind of consider that to be the same, whether I piss people off or don't piss people off. I don't really care, but apparently I do. So I guess it's kind of a good thing. Anyways, they always say that if you're making the establishment mad, then you're doing something right. Anyways, I want to welcome everybody here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Let's go ahead and get the intro out of the way. YouTube, this is strictly for you. This is a message just for you. All of this is Minecraft. It's a complete fictitious, imaginary thing that is not really happening. Everything that I'm going to say is an absolute lie. And everything that is going to happen from this point forward is just a very bad dream. I'm going to hand you, a bowl of warm soup. I'm going to cup your balls, pat you on the butt, and send you back to bed so you can have a wonderful night's sleep. Thank you so much. And have a wonderful day. And you can go fuck yourself. All right. So if you guys didn't see, Tucker Carlson was fired. I can't say it without laughing. Tucker Carlson was one of the more entertaining people on Fox, and I've said this on several occasions. I don't really find any of the news media to be completely trustworthy, but Tucker Carlson was one of the guys that kind of went above and beyond to do what he could. Now, it does look like he was holding on to some secrets. We're going to go over some of that tonight. I've got my own theories about it. I will also go over that tonight. But remember, everyone, like, share, and subscribe, please, of course, for those of you that are new. Those of you that are returning, of course, you know how this goes. We're going to have a little talk, we're going to have a little chat, and then we're just going to swing it from there and do our thing. But everyone, please enjoy, because I've got a nice little show for you planned out tonight. And again, for those of you that can't watch it now but watch it later, thank you for coming. And make sure to hit that like button, that notification button, and let's get started. So our first story we're going to be covering, I'm going to kind of come at it from a different angle. I like to do things just a little bit different. And I really don't want to come at this from the angle of Tucker Carlson made a bunch of people angry, so he got fired. I don't want to do that. So this is what we're going to do instead. About a day after, if you see April 25th right there, let's see, today's date is the 26th. Tucker Carlson was fired on the 24th. The day after, BlackRock owns 15.1% of Fox Corporation was leaked. I don't know how it was leaked, but I've got something pretty cool for you to see here. Now, if you take a good gander at this picture right here, how to escape the Matrix, step 1, grab a sledgehammer. You can figure out the rest for yourself. But the news media has turned into a 24-hour news cycle. So we basically have become addicted to this constant wave of news. Remember when Trump was president? It was bad man orange, orange man bad. Donald Trump, breaking news, breaking news. They did the same thing with COVID. All right? Journalists don't need credible sources anymore. They would much rather ask for forgiveness than for permission. So they'll release a story, complete 100% BS, and then afterwards, oh, we were misinformed. We apologize. Check this out. It doesn't take a genius to know that yesterday we got another really big flag to get off the mainstream news if you seek any unbiased news analysis or editorial content. That the basis, the censorship, is only going to get worse. And no, I'm not necessarily writing off Tucker's departure, although that too is another signpost. What really has me concerned is that earlier this year, it was announced that BlackRock has increased ownership position in Fox Corporation, FOXA. This increase in stock ownership now means that BlackRock owns 15.1% of the Fox Corporation. They are the second largest owner, just after the Murdoch family. Now, the family trust, Murdoch, still owns 19% of the company, with other smaller institutional investors owning the rest. The CEO of Fox Corporation was Rupert Murdoch, but it is currently Lachlan Murdoch. But with this increase of 2.7% of Fox Corp, it is clear that BlackRock is fast becoming a controlling entity in the Fox Corporation. Everyone's like, 15.1, that's not a lot. It's like, yeah, it is. Okay? The Murdoch family doesn't even own 20%. A few stock options, a few misplays, a few, industrial espionages. BlackRock owns Fox, guys. Okay? Wake up. Together, BlackRock and Vanguard own 18%. You remember who Vanguard is? Of Fox, now almost 21%, 16% of CBS, 13% of Comcast, which owns NBC, MSNBC, CNBC, and all of those say the same shit. And Sky Media Group, 12% of CNN, and 12% of Disney, which owns a number of subsidiaries. Media behemoths that may present themselves as rivals are in reality owned by the same company. Ever wonder why when you're flipping through the left-leaning organization news reports, they sound kind of the same, and then you're flipping through the other ones and they don't? It's because they're not owned by certain people or they don't have the majority. Remember the basics of Marxism. You will own nothing and you will be happy for it. Here's a little video about BlackRock. All right, I'm going to check you guys' messages if there are any.
A good chance you've never heard of BlackRock. Founded in only 1988, in less than 30 years, this American financial firm would grow to become the company that owns the world, managing assets worth $6.3 trillion. These are assets that belong to their clients, mainly the pension funds of ordinary people, teachers, police officers, nurses, and many more. And that's just the beginning. BlackRock has also developed a software platform called Aladdin to perform risk analysis for its clients. It receives sensitive data from banks, insurance companies, and other important institutions. Through Aladdin, BlackRock has insights about the management of financial assets worth another $20 trillion. BlackRock also has...
Aladdin is known for going into a secret mine, a magical mine, and stealing the most powerful treasure known to the entire world.
Has shares and voting rights in many of the biggest European companies, in sectors such as energy, oil and gas, transportation, food, and of course, finance. The company holds public debt in the form of bonds and has real estate interests. And still, there's more. Our Rock, you see, wears many hats. Aside from being an investor, it is also an auditor and an advisor. Governments and central banks invite a BlackRock subsidiary called BlackRock Solutions to audit them and to provide advice about the management and rescue of banks. Yet at the same time, BlackRock is often a major shareholder in these same banks. In other words, the company often sits on both sides of the table. BlackRock Solutions gets privileged access to highly sensitive information that could be valuable to BlackRock itself. Does this constitute a conflict of interest? No, says BlackRock, which claims...
Not at all. Not even the slightest bit of conflict of interest in that whatsoever.
That the company has established Chinese walls between its different subsidiaries. In January 2018, BlackRock's founder and chairman, Larry Fink, sent a letter to all of the CEOs of the companies BlackRock is invested in, asking them to do more than deliver financial performance and make a positive contribution to society. So BlackRock not only owns the world, it also wants to save it?
And by positive contributions to society, I'm sure that probably means more along the lines of, oh, wait, that's right. More of the same bullshit. After watching the above video, one has to ask, how does BlackRock, the largest corporation in the world, seek to save the world from what? Why do they own so much media? What is their goal? A handful of transnational corporations should not control so many of our access points to the news. It is unhealthy. This is why we have to seek out alternate sources. I like to use the Epoch Times, Citizen Free Press, Real Clear Politics, Twitter. I have a large list of people and organizations that I follow. Daily Wire, Asia Times, War Room, Just the News, Breitbart, and many others. I stay away from the sources that receive significant government funding. NPR, PBS, BBC. Edited to add, I also like Real America's Voice, Glenn Beck, Brownstone Institution, and Lou Rockwell. Also, Matt Taibbi, Seymour Hersh, and Glenn Greenwald on Substack. There is no one source for truth, and there are many opinions on politics, war policy, medicine, and, well, life, and well, life. Seek out many alternative voices and work to free yourself from an internal bias. See, he's basically saying the same thing that I do, just in a much better and more elegant way. Do your own research, find your own path, make your own choices. Don't let the 24-hour news cycle fill your brain with this shit. I read probably 30 different articles a day, maybe more, depending on the day, depending on how much time I have. Probably from over, and throughout the week, I probably read from 50 to 60 different sources. I go to different sources all over the place. So, and I don't even consider myself to be the most informed individual. I probably miss 90% of the media because I don't do this full time. I don't do it all the time. But I'm probably, 50% more informed than the average person, maybe 60 if I'm lucky. And I still don't know shit. So think about that for a second. Think about all the people that are out there right now that don't really know anything because they're not out there reading. They're not out there making a lot of sense in their own minds because they're being told, hey, black is white, wrong is right, boys are girls, girls are boys. And they don't have the intestinal fortitude to actually go out and make a difference. But my point with that story is this. Tucker Carlson was getting paid, it's rumored to be, because we can't confirm it, $35 million a year. He was their number one grossing show at the 8 o'clock hour, the number one grossing 8 o'clock hour show, period, in television. And on top of that, the day after he was fired, they lost $1 billion in their stock. They recovered a little bit at the end, but they went over $1 billion in losses in a stock. Now, I'm sure that they countered for that. I'm sure that BlackRock was very convincing when they were talking about it. I'm sure that they were telling everyone, we need to make sure that this happens. We need to make sure that this is good. And, oh, by the way, we got to get rid of Tucker Carlson because he's just, calling people out too much. And he's just too much of a distraction. It starts with little things. Wolverine getting his ass beat by Mystique. The first X-Men. Little things. Okay? Oh, it's not a big deal. Well, they're cutting off little boys' dicks, guys. They're cutting off chicks' titties. Someone made a really good point the other day. I wish I'd have thought about this. But we have a whole month in October where the NFL wears pink shoes, right? And pink gloves and everything. Save the boobies. Well, where's save the boobie people whenever we're cutting off chicks' tits to become boys? It's a good question. Anyways, moving on up to the east side. All right. Fox fires Tucker. I wanted to kind of follow it up with this. I got a little bit more of a follow-up with this. I kind of wanted to drive this home. I know it's everywhere right now, but this is really important because this goes to show you that even with as much of an impact that he made for Fox, they still shit-canned his ass. So this is the Wall Street Journal. It's a left-leaning newspaper. Tucker Carlson, vulgar, offensive messages about colleagues help seal his fate at Fox News. Now, you're going to notice a completely different style of journalism here. A totally different story. Watch. Primetime host called senior executive a cunt in redacted missive. Network grew wary of further embarrassment from possible disclosure. Now, there's no sources, by the way. Just keep reading. Several weeks ago, as Fox News lawyers prepared for a courtroom showdown with Dominion voting systems, they presented Tucker Carlson with what they thought was good news. They had persuaded the court to redact from a legal filing the time he called a senior Fox News executive a cunt, according to people who are familiar with the matter. So, now, we don't have any access to this document. We don't have any access to know whether this is telling the truth or not. Maybe in a video, maybe he will tell us this later. And further, the article, it actually says he wanted his people to know that he called her a cunt. Okay. Now, if Tucker Carlson's calling a chick a cunt, probably had a really good reason why. So, number one, you have to do some pretty hardcore shit, like take a dude's kids from him and never let him see him to be a cunt. So there's probably a reason why Tucker did that. Mr. Carlson, Fox News' most watched primetime host, wasn't impressed. He told his colleagues that he wanted the world to know what he said about the executive in a private message. The people said, Mr. Carlson said comments he made from the former presidential about former President Donald Trump, I hate him passionately, also no sources, that were in the court documents were said during a momentary spasm of anger, while his dislike of the executive was deep and enduring. The message, all right, we'll get to that in a second. The messages were part of a trove of emails and texts from Fox executives and hosts that were made public as a result of Dominion's defamation lawsuit. The voting machine company accused Fox Networks of airing false claims by hosting guests that Dominion helped rig the outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election in favor of Joe Biden. Fox News, parent Fox Corporation, Fox, up 3% last week, agreed to pay $787.5 million to settle this dispute. Yeah, let's check out.
Fox, we have some news from within our Fox family. Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have mutually agreed to part ways.
Mutually agreed my ass.
And we'll be back on Monday. In the meantime, have the best weekend with the ones that you love, and we'll see you then.
I can't hear them. Can you guys hear them? No. So basically, just a shit show. Sorry, gotta take my poo. But on Monday, Mr. Carlson's famously combative stance toward members of Fox News management and the other colleagues caught up with him as the network abruptly announced it was parting ways with him, just minutes after informing Mr. Carlson of the change. Now, it was said on Timcast as of, was it last night? It was I think it was the show he had last night. They told him 10 minutes before they released the information. So they told him he was fired, and then 10 minutes afterwards, they told the world he was fired. So he didn't have any time to prep. The private messages in which Mr. Carlson showed disregard for management and colleagues were a major factor in that decision. According to other people familiar with the matter, although many portions of the Dominion Court documents are redacted, there is concern amongst Fox Corp's executives that if the redacted material were to become public, it would lead to further embarrassment for the network and parent company. With an average audience of 3.2 million, 3.2 million. Dude, he has 3.2 million people watching him. What TV show has? Is that bigger than most TV shows? I don't know. Someone fact check me on that. I think that's bigger than most TV shows. During the first quarter, Tucker Carlson Tonight was the network's most watched evening show over the period and second most popular telecast overall behind the afternoon talk show The Five. Five's pretty popular. Within Fox's management, reservations had been mounting about risks Mr. Carlson presented for the network. People familiar with the matter said some of the people pointed to concerns that the populist firebrand had come to believe himself bigger than the network, a cardinal sin in Fox Corp. Chair Rupert Murdoch's empire and was increasingly operating on his own island. Mr. Murdoch and his family are large shareholders on the Fox Corp and Wall Street Journal parents News Corp. On air, Mr. Carlson had turned up the volume on commentary that had expanded beyond a conservative viewpoint on politics into more of an attack on marginalized groups. Name one. Go ahead. Give me a source. Besides just spouting off bullshit. Just give me one source. Tell me one situation where he specifically targeted marginalized groups. Wall Street Journal. You're such a sellout. His show, more than those of his primetime colleagues, Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham. Notice no one ever talks shit about Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham. I mean, they leave them alone. They always go after Tucker. I guess they're next. Frequently landed the network in hot water, particularly with advertisers. Mr. Carlson sometimes trafficked in what critics, including some higher-ups within Fox, felt was thinly veiled racism on his show, such as when he recently suggested Tennessee lawmaker got into a good college only because of his skin color. Some people said, okay, this is what Tucker said. Tucker said because of NAACP and because of affirmative action, more African Americans have been put into classes in schools than they were ever before. He didn't flat out say that it was because of his skin color. He said that that's what affirmative action did. See how they like to play that word game? And imagine if you're a person that just reads the Wall Street Journal. You automatically think that he's a racist. Mr. Carlson declined to comment on his departure. So now, again, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. What's up? Hey, what's up, man? Sparkling ideas. I saw on Twitter today a girl's arm being mutilated to create a penis. We're going to actually go over that a little bit. As we get further, I got some stuff, but yeah, I've heard they take it out of the butt or they take it out of the arm and the back of the arm. Just no. Mac Dame, where you at? Where you at, Mac Dame? Wish you guys would actually come on and talk about these subject matters. People need to hear. They need to hear your opinion. Donut, I really hope you're okay. I don't ever get to see that often anymore. And I'm sorry I've been missing you guys. I know that you guys are live. It's just, I'm so busy now that I barely have time to even do this. So I really wish I could talk to you guys more often. Sparkling, thank you again. Mac Tank, thank you for coming in and doing everything. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. But they're going to make him look like a bad guy to everybody on the left, period. And yeah. And, they're going to make him look like he's a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, a transphobe, whatever. And the people on the left are going to believe it. I mean, what is it? 37% of people still think Biden's doing a great job. Okay. We're literally in the pits of the economy. The American dollar is bottoming out. The stock market is in complete fucking shambles. We have inflation through the roof. We have more immigration issues than we've ever had in the history of our country. And they still think he's doing a great job. Something that I did notice is Harris sure has gotten quiet. We don't really see a lot from Harris anymore. Kamala's been kind of an OG, I guess. She's like an OG now because they don't really talk about it anymore. I guess she made a big ass out of herself. But the concept that we're dealing with here is a bunch of people that are going to read articles like the one I just read, and they're going to believe every single word of it. They're going to twist the words, and we're not done. This is going to keep going. We're going to have more about Tucker. We're going to have more about what happened. You know what? Here, I'll make a prediction. They're going to come up with the dirtiest shit. He's going to be a sexist in the office. He's going to grab someone's ass. They'll say that he could even possibly be gay, probably. They'll even come out and probably say he sexually assaulted someone. They'll do everything they can to try to badmouth him so that Fox can get that billion back. Because I don't think that Fox is going to be able to recover from this the way that they think they are. They're probably going to actually burn a little bit before they can even make it back. And even then, when they make it back, it's not going to be the same. Right now, I'm reading about Tennessee anti-gun bullshit about if you are taking meds, they are trying to stop people not to be able to buy guns. You're going to see a lot more of that shit. They're going to start putting stuff in the mix. We got a new law coming out next year. Is it next year? Where they're going to actually make it even harder for people to buy guns. So, but oh, by the way, I took in my baby, my pistol that I've had for years. She's getting worked on right now. She's having some really cool modifications made to her. That's the one that I showed you the other day. So today I got my backup. I've got my backup Glock 45 with me. So, but pretty awesome shit right there. I can't wait. I'm going to call it the 92 FS Rail. It's going to be an amazing weapon. But yeah, our gun, everything's under attack right now. Dude, bologna's $9 a pound. Come on. It's like, no, everything's fine. Don't look over here. Anyways, you guys can go fuck yourselves. All that bullshit. All right, I found this one. This one is pretty interesting. And this is a video, okay? And it's on Twitter. And I wanted to show you guys an example of exactly what it's like to be in a peaceful protest versus a violent protest. All right, so check this out. This happened in Fort Worth, okay? Whoop, shit. No, that's not what I wanted. Go back. Stop it. Stop yourself. All right, so we're gonna go here. Damn it, Mac, I think you left. You're gonna kick yourself for not being here. All right. Here we go. Check this out.
No, fine. We can take care of it later. Back up.
What do they need to know?
Back up.
What do they need to know?
Back up.
3 counter-protesters are arrested after chaos breaks out amidst a drag show in Texas.
Bring the units over here.
It happened in Fort Worth on April 23rd.
This is Fort Worth,
Video
Mac Dame.
shows anti-drag show protesters across the street from the Fort Brewery and Pizza.
All it says, drag show aren't for kids. I can't read this one. Maybe it says porn. But look, looks like he's got a camera, dressed nice. This guy's got a tie on. She's sitting there. I mean, these guys, they don't look like they're doing anything wrong.
Where a drag show is being held.
Now watch.
The protesters from a group called Protect Texas Kids held
Protect Texas Kids. PTK.
signs. One reading, "Drag shows aren't for kids." Police say the protesters and a group of counter-protesters
The women moved away.
were monitored through city cameras. At one point, officials say a counter-protester, later identified as 20-year-old Samuel Folks, pepper sprayed several anti-drag show protesters. After that, officers attempted to take him into custody.
Hey, bud, you come with me real quick? No. Yeah. He's going to come with us. He's right here.
By the way, he's wearing body armor. Okay, and I can't really see if he's got one on, but he might also be wearing one of those masks. He probably doesn't, but that's a Kevlar helmet. So that's with the rig and the body armor, about $500. That helmet's about $100. That's $500 right there.
You ready to come all right, bud?
I'm not doing anything. We're going to go get him. Get away. Stop falling.
Body camera video then shows another counter-protester, later identified as 33.
Because if they're wearing the mask, that makes their gear a lot more expensive. That mask like $700.
Year-old Christopher Gio appeared to hit an officer over the head with an umbrella.
Hey, you take off running, you're going to get trouble with that.
After that, a struggle breaks out.
Bring the units over here.
Bring the units over here. Okay, so now this is Fort Worth. Now, Fort Worth is one of the most, I would say, out of DFW, it is probably the most right-leaning of all the big cities. The big premier gun show is in Fort Worth. That's the biggest gun show in the state of Texas. People are, the stockyards are there. That's where the state fair is. Dude, like Fort Worth is pretty freaking right-leaning, okay? These guys went to the wrong city. Now, this is how almost all of Texas used to be, all right? Even Austin. It's just not that way anymore. But there's not really a news story. I just wanted you guys to see that. I didn't want you to really, focus on it too much. Okay. Oh, it's got you. It's all good. I'm going to bed now. I'm happy I made it to live stream. Oh, dude, thank you so much. You guys are so cool. You guys always make me feel great. No, it's all good. I didn't know you were in the company meeting. I didn't realize this was a company meeting. But okay. But that was Fort Worth though. I don't know how far away you are from Fort Worth, but that's Fort Worth, Mac Dane. So, but anyways, good night, Donut. Have a good night. So, but anyways, all right. So this one, here's a big one. This was in my teaser at the beginning. So we'll get this out of the way too. How about Trump and DeSantis on the 2024 ticket? What would you guys think about that? Maybe, maybe not. Well, we might just have that. That could be a possibility. Let's see here. We got a message. Hang on. Let's load it up. What is this? Why is there a what? Okay, thank you. I don't know what that was. It was blocking our view. Oh, hello, LA. So check this out. Welcome, LA, of course. Good to see you. Wink, wink. Donald Trump, listening to insiders, are urging him to make DeSantis his VP pick. I don't know. Let's see. Oops. He's 44, DeSantis. Some of his supporters are suggesting he make a deal with DeSantis to make him VP, and he's listening, but hasn't agreed. Supporters say the VP offer would stop DeSantis from opposing Trump and offer a youth of conservative vigor to the slot, which Biden doesn't have. He'd have to change states. He lives in Florida right now. Mar-a-Lago. Sources add DeSantis would also bring big money to the campaign, but there's no deal yet. And well, he's got the Bushes backing him. Okay. Well, all right. Nope, I said small. Thank you. So let's see here. Politics make strange bedfellows, possibly even Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. While the polls have the former president leading the Florida governor in a potential 2024 GOP race, some Trump world insiders are urging the 45th chief executive to make DeSantis his running mate, and Trump is listening, we hear. A Trump world source, I don't know what Trump world is, that must be something new, tells Page 6 some of his supporters are suggesting he make a deal with DeSantis to make him VP, and he's listening, but hasn't agreed. The source added, supporters say VP offer would stop this. Okay, we already read that one in the video. Let's see. Do we have anything else? The source adds DeSantis wants to raise money to test the waters, but what he really wants to do is run in 2028 after Trump wins or loses, with him or without him. It's early days, but some donors are pushing for partnership. One new poll on Tuesday reflected that 58% of potential Republican primary voters said they support Trump, while about 28% of the polls respondents said they'd pick DeSantis. Trump told Greg Kelly on Newsmax on Tuesday of DeSantis, look, right now I'm very down on him. I'm very disappointed in him because I'm a loyal person, maybe to a fault. The former president added, I'm a loyal person, and somebody gets you into office, and then you're telling people, well, I don't know if I'll run against the president. You know, I mean, life shouldn't have to work that way, but it does. That's okay, too. DeSantis hasn't announced a primary campaign yet. Meanwhile, even in Japan, he didn't. When he went to Japan and they asked him about it, Japan was like, oh, my God, you going to run for president? He's like, I'm not going to say anything yet. So he didn't say shit. Meanwhile, over at Mar-a-Lago, pals say Trump is smiling and doing fist pumps on the golf course. He's telling friends he already has got the nomination locked in with Republicans, and DeSantis is falling like a rock. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't work, and I'm not saying that it wouldn't be something that would be good. You know, I'm just saying it would be hard to do. I mean, let's be real about this. DeSantis and Trump on the same ticket, that's just going to be hard to do. All right. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But if it gets the primary for the Republicans and the Republicans are saying they're going to fix all this shit, okay. I'm cool with that. All right. Now for the fun shit. More on trans sports, ladies and gents. More on trans sports. Because apparently they just can't get this through their head.
The swimmer that competes and wins a NCAA championship as a man against other women, and we say we must do nothing. Criticism I receive is, well, Charlie, aren't you a Christian? Don't you love that person? Of course we do. That person's made in the image of God. We should have compassion for that person. However, the question is then what do you do with somebody that is suffering with a mental delusion?
Yeah. By the way, he has had absolutely no hormones, no surgeries, nothing.
If somebody shows up at the airplane ticket counter and says, I have an imaginary friend, I demand 2 seats on a plane, you would say, well, I need to charge you for 2 seats. No, it's my truth. It's actually, I'm a dual personality. You say you're insane. If someone is anorexic and says, I need liposuction, you'd say, no, you're suffering under a mental delusion. What we are living through is that we now have to change our customs, our code of beliefs, our behaviors for people that are personally struggling with something. That is evil.
Yeah, there's a... Did I put it on here? I might put it on here, but what is his name? Piers Morgan? Piers Morgan was talking to this one lady, and he was like, well, I have a problem with this. Or they have a problem with their personality. The woman was like, no, you have a problem because you won't respect their name. He's like, why do I have to respect anyone? It's a free country. Look, you might want to be called Susie, but I don't have to call you Susie. All right? I can call you whatever the fuck I want. It's not about respect. It's about freedom. Oh, LeBron James. Yes. First time ever to make an appearance on my show. And I figure the woke bastard deserves nothing best than to be shown at his best. And here we go. This is LeBron James at his best.
Check out this picture. I seen this coming. You know what? LeBron looks good in paint. Everybody behind him seems to enjoy it too. Bet you see a dude that's 6'9" walking down the street like that. I'm like, man, and you look at him crazy, you be like, what? What's the problem? Did he come over and beat your ass? Several photos of LeBron James wearing a pink skirt and top and carrying a pink purse recently surfaced online. The photos seem to have originated on Reddit before spreading all over social media. The original poster on Reddit claimed that James wore a pink skirt to celebrate the birth of his daughter. I bet you won't wear that in the hood. You wear that in West Hollywood. I bet you won't wear it in Compton. Many of James' critics shared the photos to take a shot at the LA Lakers superstar. However, it's important to note that the pictures are not real. The photos have either been photoshopped or generated by artificial intelligence. Look at the video. He's got like midget proportions. Look at his hands. A big ass man like that, them little ass hands. Look at his arms. Looking like a damn T-Rex. Look how big his head is. Check out this picture.
I figured I'd let it ride for a second. You know, after the whole, what is his name? John Cena thing, you know, walking around in pumps and motherfucking thigh highs in a skirt. But that one was real. That one wasn't AI. All right. So, LeBron James, I'm sorry I still don't like you, dude. You're always trying to get something, dude. You're always trying to do some kind of woke bullshit, trying to be more woke than someone else. You're just a tool now, bro. Great basketball player, horrible human being.
What's offensive to me? Actors pretending to be things that they're not. But Brendan Fraser, after a long hiatus, is copying a lot of shit because of his new film, The Whale. Brendan Fraser's comeback movie, The Whale, is getting backlash for its anti-fat storyline.
With all this discussion of The Whale, I've been seeing a lot of people lacking true understanding of why fat suits are.
This woman looks like pure wisdom. So we better listen.
Are inherently harmful and fat phobic.
Fat suits. That's the problem here. That's what you have. That's the issue with the movie. Okay.
Reinforces this idea that fatness is something that everyone can just take off.
Oh, right. So you're mad that because he can take the suit off at the end of the day, it reinforces the idea that you can just take fat off your body, like through exercise and diet and over a long period of time, like, because that's not true. That's not real. Brendan Fraser, you should be ashamed of yourself, you fat phobic pig. You know what's offensive to me? Actors.
You know, now you can't play gay unless you're gay, or I know, right? I don't think it was a bra. Let's go back and look. I think you're right. Hang on. There. Remember, it's a short, so I can't fast forward it.
You know what's offensive to me? Actors pretending to be things that they're not. But Brendan Fraser, after a long hiatus, is copying a lot of shit because of his new film, The Whale. Brendan Fraser's comeback movie, The Whale, is getting backlash for its anti-fat storyline.
With all this discussion.
Okay. I don't think so. Look, I mean, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, looks like a wonderful human being. I mean, she's great with her makeup, and I mean, she obviously exercises and eats a great diet. I mean, it looks like she's got some nice skin, though. I mean, she could probably fit 3 women inside of that skin, but it's nice, you know? I'm just, yeah. Hey, you know, I figure if I'm going to make people mad, I'm going to make them mad all the way, man. Let's just make them all mad. All right. Pearl being based again. By the way, Dame, if you haven't checked out Pearly Things, go check out Pearly Things. All right. Seriously. Go check it out. It's a good show. She makes some really based comments. You'd like what she has to say. Here's her being based again.
What's your thoughts on a one-night stand?
What
do you think? Is it harmless? Is it a big deal? What do you think?
For men, I think it's harmless. For women, it is not.
A lot of people be upset about that.
Yeah.
But can you explain why?
If a woman slept with more than 5 people, so if she's a virgin on her wedding night, she has an 80% chance of a happy marriage. 80% after 10 years. So they did a study, right? They basically asked women how many sexual partners they had before they got married. And if they were virgins on their wedding, and then they came back in 10 years and said, are you happy? Now, the women that were virgins in 10 years, 80% chance of a happy marriage.
What's your thoughts on...
Think about that for a second. Now, she doesn't go into it further, but when a woman sleeps with more than 6 men, she has about a 33% chance of a successful marriage. All right, and it's about pair bonding. This is an actual psychological thing. So that's why men and women are different when it comes to sexual relations. Men do not have sex for emotion. We don't get emotionally attached for sex. We're just built differently. Women, on the other hand, they get attached, but there's a threshold. So if you sleep with too many men, you lose the ability to pair bond. That's why all these women on OnlyFans that are getting railed by like 7 different dudes a week for clicks or however OnlyFans works, they're never going to be able to pair bond. Ever. They're not going to do it. Because they'll always have that picture of that dude with the 12-inch dick in the back of their mind going, you know, that guy fucked me better than you did. That's a rough estimation of it, but I think you kind of get my point. Let's see here. There was it's disgusting. There was a woman on the At Whatever podcast, Mac, and she said she had been with over 350 guys, and she was eventually going to settle down. But a man that deserved her, she actually said that a man that deserved her would not care about her body count. It's like, look, I hate to break it to you whores out there, and I'm talking to you hoes that are going through your hoe phase. The more dicks you have, the less attractive you are. Hate to break it to you. This is reality, not princess land. Okay? Exactly. I mean, dude, you got 2 responsibilities when you're born as a chick, basically. Protect your chastity, learn how to be a really good woman, wife, mother. It's not hard. Okay? You guys have got to protect what makes you valuable. You lose your value the more men that you sleep with. Sorry. It's just how it works. Would you date a dude that was a loser living home with his mom and dad with no car and no job that's like 100 pounds overweight and has pimples all over his face? No! Same thing. It's so messed up. It's like, dude, just get a clue. Wake up. Okay, so we have a little bit of a fun one come up in a second, but I wanted to do something with JP. I've got a lot of requests for JP. So JP spouting some wisdom here, and it's about why women are woke.
A year ago, trying to figure out if there was such a thing as political correctness from a psychometric perspective. And we actually found 2 factors. One was being female was a predictor. The personality attributes associated with femininity, so that would be agreeableness and higher levels of negative emotion, were also both independent predictors, but so were symptoms.
Remember, women are more agreeable, men are less agreeable. That's a psychological perk, all right? It doesn't mean good or bad. It's just how we are, all right?
Of personality disorder, which I thought was really important, because part of what I see happening is that I think that women whose relationship with men has been seriously pathologized cannot distinguish between male authority and competence and male tyrannical power. Like, they fail to differentiate because all they see is the...
What he's talking about is basically, because he's much smarter than I will ever be, but I'll break it down a little bit. What he's talking about is now male masculinity is demonized. It's called toxic masculinity. Anytime a man does something that's masculine, it's negative. Anytime a man wants to take charge, he's oppressive. Anytime a man wants to order a food for a woman or open a door for her, he's sexist. No. Okay, those are the things that make men men. When you take away what makes a man and you strip him of his masculinity, you get dudes cutting off their dicks or walking around fucking doing the dresses in public and shit. Okay?
Oppressive male. And they may have had experiences. Their experiences with men might have been rough enough so that differentiation never occurred, because it has to occur. And you have to have a lot of experience with men, and good men too, before that will occur. But it seems to me that we're also increasingly dominated by a view of masculinity that's mostly characteristic of women who have terrible personality disorders and who are unable to have healthy relationships with men.
So like you'll get like AOC, Ocasio-Cortez, whatever her name is. All right. She has something really wrong with her, and she's a leader in our society. And she said some pretty fucked up things like kill all cows and stop flying on planes. Yeah, go fig. Let's see. Yeah, right. But okay, all right. So in celebration of Don Lemon's career and in memoriam of his career, and to try to lessen the blow of Tucker Carlson, we are going to celebrate because, you know, no one really gives a shit that Don Lemon was fired from CNN. Because, by the way, he was. Okay? And this is one of my favorite Don Lemon clips of all time. I think I've played it before. But just in case you haven't seen this, the GOAT, Morgan Freeman.
That race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't or
Today?
cannot. Yeah.
No.
You don't?
No, I don't. You and I, we're proof. Why would race have anything to do with it? Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that. It's kind of like religion to me. It's a good excuse for not getting there.
Yeah. You know, I said, and it's probably get me in trouble, but I said to some of my colleagues recently, so I know that it's an issue, but it seems like every single day on television, I'm talking about race, and it's because of the news cycle. It's in the news, but sometimes I get so tired of talking about it. I want to just go, this is over. Can we move on?
And if you talk about it, it
Lie.
exists.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like it exists and we refuse to talk about it, but making it a bigger issue than it needs to be is the problem we have.
Yep. And he just lied to Morgan Freeman. How dare you lie to Morgan Freeman? You bastard. Bye, Don Lemon. Congratulations. You are fired. By the way, he was like, I have no idea why. I don't understand. I thought this one was rather interesting. They were asking the Border Patrol what they want to make the border more secure.
Border Patrol most want to secure the border. Do they want policy changes to actually enforce the law, or do they want more resources? Which would they rank higher?
Policy changes.
What kind of policy changes? Enforcing the laws of the United States at the border?
Enforce the rule of law, and I'll share this add-on too. They feel like they're not being supported by this administration. Our national sheriff, senior leadership, has attempted through letters to reach out to President Biden. He's been invited to our events with major county sheriffs, western sheriffs, southwest border, and national. We have never got a response back from this president. In fact, I was told just a couple months ago, he's the first president not to meet with sheriffs in this country. We did meet with Secretary Mayorkas. We reached out. I assembled about a dozen sheriffs. We met in El Paso. We sat down with the secretary. We gave him a 16-point action plan to share, to look at, we thought were common sense, humanitarian and public safety, national security objectives built within that. Never heard back. I asked the secretary where that plan was, what they were going to do with it. He asked me what plan. So long story short is we've never got a response back from the secretary.
Ever. He's the only president to never talk to the Border Patrol. Gee, I wonder what that means. Kind of crazy. All right, we'll do a couple more and then we'll get out of here. Let's see here. Guys, I don't want to do that one. That was kind of gay. Oh, yeah, let's do this one. We'll do this one and then we'll do one more. Right. I want you guys to pay very close attention to his body language. We've talked about body language before. Watch Matt Walsh.
What is a woman?
Why do you ask that question?
This guy right here.
I just really like to know.
Not Matt
What
Walsh.
do you think the answer to that question is?
And that's why I came to a college professor. What other kinds of answers have you gotten?
A lot of like this, where you're not answering, and I've gotten a lot of that. So
I think it's interesting that you say that some of the people you've interviewed have been reluctant to answer it, and I think that has a lot to do with the way.
Okay, so 1, he's not making eye contact. 2, his arms are crossed. 3, his legs are crossed. This is a defensive posture. Okay, it doesn't mean that every single person that crosses their arms, looks down at the floor, crosses their legs, are not. But he's doing all 3. He has changed his position 3 times in the last, 12 seconds? Okay? This guy is nervous as shit because he knows he's full of utter garbage. This guy is just spouting off diarrhea. Watch him hang himself with his own circular argument.
The questions that preceded it and the way that you've conducted yourself in the interview.
how have I conducted myself?
How do you think you've conducted yourself?
You just really don't want to answer the questions, do you?
I came today very willing and enthusiastic about answering questions about women's and gender sexuality studies.
The first answer you should be able to provide is what exactly is a woman?
Well, for me, it's actually a really simple answer, and that's a person who identifies as a woman.
But what are they identifying as?
As a woman.
But what is that?
As a woman.
Do you know what a circular definition is?
I do.
Like what you're doing right now.
Sounds like you would like me to give you a set of biological or cultural characteristics that...
Well, that's what he fucking asked. He says, what is a woman? A person identifies as a woman. Well, what is that? What? What is a woman? I just told you.
Are associated with one gender or the other.
I'm not seeking any type of definition. I'm just seeking a definition.
Yeah, and I gave you one.
This is a college professor. This guy right here is teaching our children. Pretty scary shit, dude. Wow. All right, last one. We'll do a good one. Let's see here. We'll go with Denzel. I got a good one from Denzel. I love Denzel Washington. Him and Morgan Freeman, man. Dude, been watching them for so long. Here we go.
We've made any headway. And
I think it's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds. I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head. You look at his picture, you'll see the headshot of him. He's like this. And he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old. You blame the system? Where was his father?
It's a great answer. Denzel's totally nailed it. I say it this way, and most people say it this way. Control what's going on in your own house. Are you making progress there? Don't look to the outside world. So I can't have
look to the stars.
Success in my own house unless the outside world cooperates. No. Control your house, make progress there, and then watch what happens to the rest of society.
Boom. Stop worrying about other people's shit. Focus on your own shit. Take care of your kids. You know, take care of your family. Be a good parent. You know, take care of each other. Watch out. I got a funny one here. I called this one evil cunt, but you guys let me know if you think that she's an evil bitch or not. Yeah, you be the judge. This will be the last one. Because we got a couple more minutes. It's titled No More of This, by the way. We're seeing her a lot now. I'm playing her on Freely Ashley. She's good. I like her.
I wonder.
This chick right here was a former LGBTQ plus, far left. She was Antifa.
I wonder if the parents of the victims of the Nashville shooting today would still have their children if these trans bills in Tennessee were never a thing. I'm not a parent, but if I were, I'd be real mad at the government. I'd be real mad at the government.
You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering what the fuck is wrong with you that you thought that was a good point to make. I'm not sure if you've taken a look around our society, but right now we have entire generations who are so confused about who they are and what they are that they can't even think straight. We have people promoting mental illness as if it's some kind of cute, quirky thing to put in your bio and live your life by. The problem goes a lot deeper than a bill. And maybe if you took 5 minutes to think about what you were saying before you actually said it, you would realize that. But instead, you're using the death of children as a political football.
Yep.
Congrats, by the way, because you're on Lives of TikTok
Yeah,
now.
no shit. I mean, it's like okay, and you'll see this a lot. You'll see this like with gun violence. Oh, it's the gun. The gun's the problem. It's like, no, dude. It's like you get a kid that has had absolutely no structure his entire life. You get a kid that has no father, no beneficial father, no beneficial mother, no good upbringing. What do you think is going to happen to him or her? You're going to have whores for daughters, and you're going to have violent sons. It's going to happen. It happens a lot. The stats are there. The stats don't lie. Be a good family. Be a good parent. All right, guys, that's all I got. Wednesday short show. Got to get up early, of course. And I've got a couple things coming up here soon. This is the long stretch. Depending on what happens later on this month and coming up, I might have a couple big projects, and I might have to leave for a little bit. So that means that I might not have the ability to do shows from my computer. So probably what I'll do is I'll be doing shows from my phone. The Wednesday shows don't seem to be the most popular shows. So what I was thinking about doing is maybe asking everybody, because my Sunday shows are the most watched, obviously. So I was thinking about asking everybody if there was another night, because I would like to dedicate 2 nights a week, but I'm not getting the target audience on Wednesdays. So if you guys could shoot me an email or drop me a note in my videos to tell me, what days you think would be better than Wednesday, let me know. Sundays are not going to change, but obviously you guys are not responding to the Wednesday nights. I was thinking because it's Wednesdays and it's hump day that people would like to have something to kind of, come home to or watch, but it's not really picking up. So you guys let me know. Let me know what you think. Remember, always be good to each other. Please be safe out there. Watch out. The weather's coming, obviously. This is rainy season. Be careful on the roads. To my friends outside the country, thank you so much for coming in and watching. I really do appreciate it. God bless everybody. Do good things, and I'll see you soon. All right? Thank you so much. Mac, thank you. LA, thank you for being here. I think you stayed the whole time, Mac. Thank you. And Judge Dredd, I haven't seen you in a while, bro, so I'll see you soon, man. Bye, guys.